What up, what up, what up? It's your homeboy B Watt, and you are now tuned into another episode of Cancel B Watt. And in this episode, I'm going to be discussing this new feminist trend called decentering men. Decentering men is the latest feminist term. When I first heard this term, I must admit I was very disturbed. The phrase decentering men, the sound of it sounds very dysfunctional. And initially I thought that this meant that women would be intentionally doing things to knock a man off his square. I thought they would be doing things to knock a man off his center, but I stand corrected. Or maybe not, I don't know. Decentering men, by definition, means to cause, to lose, or shift from an established center of focus. Now, I know that can't be right. I know y'all can't be trying to knock guys off their square or from their established center of focus. So I did some further research, and the best definition that I could find for this concept of decentering men was essentially women would be examining their conscious and unconscious thought patterns for any and all ways that they may have been putting men above themselves and their own self-interest. From that point, a woman would actively and intentionally place herself above men in every way that she dealt with them. Women are decentering men to live better lives and to improve their careers, of course. Decentering men means that women would no longer give men the central focus in their lives, and they will no longer prioritize men. I want y'all to know that I'm trying my best to be fair. On one note, I think that replacing the desire for male validation with self-validation can be healthy for women. I think that if this is their way of overcoming sexual oppression or the patriarchy, then I support it. These women are not interested in sacrificing themselves just to keep a man. I get it. Of course, there are some women who are taking this stuff to the extreme. There are women who are evaluating all things that women do that men appreciate in any way, shape, or form, and they are intentionally doing the opposite. This makes no sense to me. There are many men, for instance, who prefer women to have long, healthy, beautiful hair. I love a woman with long, beautiful hair, okay? So these women, right, who are just doing the opposite just to spite men, they are shaving off their hair and wearing a buzz cut with a taper fade and a lining just to do the opposite of what they think men want from women. There are some men who prefer women who doll themselves up with makeup, foundation, lipstick, and whatnot. I don't care for that. But there are some men who prefer that. So these women who are just decentering men, they will never wear makeup on purpose just so they can do the opposite of what they think they're going to do for the validation of men, all right? It's confusing a little bit, all right? When these women go out to socialize to a bar or a lounge or something like that, they're going to completely ignore men. They will live their lives with their lady friends and not ever acknowledge men in any way. Now, on one hand, they may feel like by ignoring men, it allows them to enjoy themselves with their friends and have genuine experiences and conversations. I can understand that. I'm trying to be fair. Maybe without the pressure of having to fight for male validation. I'm not a woman, but I guess I can understand that. These women would like to make a decision without a man in mind for once in their lives. I'm telling y'all, I'm trying my best to understand where these women are coming from, and I don't want to assume the worst. These women have decided to stop focusing on men's needs. They have decided to stop trying to appeal to men, and they have completely relinquished their desire to appear attractive to men. I wonder if these women feel like by a shifting attention to their own needs, that this will ultimately make them more attractive to other people. Like, are they trying to do this to actually attract men? They are only doing what makes them happy, I guess, and having no concern whatsoever for men. These women want to know the age-old question. What gives men the power to decide what's attractive and what's not attractive? I get it, How dare bees naturally select what flowers to pollinate? How dare these bees exercise the freedom to compare this flower to the other flower by color, fragrance, and height? How dare these bees do this? What gives these bees the right to decide what's attractive to them or not? How dare these men? I have a question. Is it really that crazy for a woman to feel like she is not a complete human being without a man? I'll repeat. Is it really that crazy for a woman to feel like she is not a complete human being without a man? Is it crazy for a man to feel like he's not living a complete life without a woman? Is that shameful? Is having a particular partner not central to the identity of humans? According to God, our creator, a man and a woman are supposed to come together as one. So technically, in some ways, a man does need a woman in order to fulfill his place as a man, and vice versa. There is a whole another part of life that we literally do need a partner to participate in. Like, for instance, how do you become a grandmother without cooperating and being attractive to a man? If you do not have children, right? If a bee doesn't pollinate your flower, and grandchildren in a healthy family structure, then who is going to take care of you when you are too old to take care of yourself? And unfortunately, it doesn't seem to matter to these women, these educated women, because the propaganda disguised as research says that women are much happier without children and much happier without spouses. The statistics say, the propaganda disguised as statistics says that there are no real benefits for a woman to be partnered with a man anyways. And so, because these women have been indoctrinated and educated in the white European American system, these women have erroneously come to the conclusion that there is more to life than just a man. And I get it. These are the ladies who may have seen their own mothers sacrifice their own needs and desires for their fathers and their families. You would think they would respect that, but they don't. These women have vowed not to repeat their mother's sacrifices, mistakes, by any means necessary. Now listen, gentlemen. These ladies can still be in a relationship while decentering men. What they're doing is not like the men going their own way movement. These women are not foregoing romantic relationships, pleasure, or touch. And why, might you ask? Because these things are essential to the human experience. What they're doing is just making sure that they are intentional about not being attractive to men or doing anything that men like. Or they're taking care to make themselves a priority in every single way that they deal with men. Listen, enough is enough. We have all got to chill with the programming. We have all let these people trick us out of position. Listen, Negroes really out here moving like they the prize. And I understand. I know some of these women are sick and tired of dealing with you I'm the prize type dudes. And ladies, why y'all out here decentering men? Decentering men is probably a surprising concept to most men because most men thought y'all didn't give a damn in the first place. The fact that men still need to be decentered at this point is honestly quite enlightening. It has become more and more obvious that there are forces that want men and women to be at war with each other. So all that red pill shit is super toxic. It's programming. It's indoctrinating men and brainwashing men into a sick way of thinking. Feminism is a satanic belief system that has indoctrinated women into a dark way of thinking towards men. A few years ago, there was the men going their own way movement in the manosphere community, and men were intentionally withdrawing from any type of interaction with women. Shout out to all my sexual transmutation, No Nut November. Shout out to all my guys, right? This is not of God. Decentering men is just the feminist counterpart to that movement. All right? So stop it. This is all their plan, to destroy us and to tear us apart. At this point, they've already destroyed the family union. They've already destroyed the very covenant of marriage. In order to be in a healthy relationship with somebody, both parties will need to be willing to make sacrifices for each other. If you want a healthy relationship with somebody, it's probably not the best idea to intentionally place yourself above that person for no other reason other than for your own self-validation. So as always, I'm interested in knowing what you all think about this. Ladies, are any of you actively decentering a man who wants to be your husband right now? Gentlemen, did you even know this was going on? Did you even know that there were women intentionally attempting to decenter you? And lastly, let me say this. I do feel like the patriarchy exists. I feel like women were oppressed. I feel like women should have voices. I feel like women should have rights. I feel like women have a lot to contribute to society in a healthy way if we empower them. And I'm all for that. But the feminist movement is a satanic movement that was designed to tear men and women apart. It was designed to turn us against each other, destroy families, and destroy the sacred covenant of marriage. That is our bond. Our word is our bond. So let's stop letting these people trick us out of position. Stop all that red pill stuff. Stop decentering men and listen, like, subscribe, and tune in again to another episode of Cancel BY.